Previously on Legends, man.
Should you be sitting there? Yeah, he'll be gone for a while. I showed him the actor that is playing him in the MCU now. He went to have a little chat with Kevin. Excelsior!
All right, what we got here is the long-awaited Marvel's Mephisto from Marvel Legends, the HasbroPulse exclusive. Had to be ordered last year, basically a year ago, last June, July. You had to order it in advance. Mine just got delivered today. It's not like their HasLab. This was actually supposed to be part of a HasLab. I'll get into that a little bit later. But the HasLab was supposed to be a part of didn't reach funding, so later on, a few years later, they offered this up. Mephisto is not Satan. He's not the devil. In Marvel Comics, he's a distinct cosmic entity. I'm just reading this off Google right now. Distinct cosmic entity who thrives on temptation. He's caused chaos for countless heroes across the Marvel Universe. He was created by Stan Lee and John Buscema in 1968, first appeared in Silver Surfer #3. So I'll get more into his background and his other characters he's interacted with, but let's get this baby open. Been waiting a year to open this. This is not the first Mephisto figure. I actually have the other one. It wasn't made by Marvel Legends. It was made by Diamond Select, Marvel Select, whatever it used to be called. And that was in 2007, I think. So I have that somewhere, packed away somewhere. Oops. Sorry there, Mephi. So the tray comes in, the box comes with 2 trays in it. Okay, one is obviously the base, the other is the figure. And let's see, do they have instructions for how to put the base together? I'm sure they don't, because Hasbro doesn't like to do that anymore. They just like to put 8,000 legal warnings and don't put the cosmic entity in your mouth, choking hazard, stupid stuff like that, instead of showing you how they want you to put the base together. It should be pretty simple though. So it's just 2 pieces. But there's a very detailed base. And let me pause this for a minute. Okay, just got rid of some background noise there. Anyway, here's the base. It's pretty detailed. It's got a little bit of weathering on it, not a lot. It's got skulls on it and some kind of creepy crawlies crawling through, some kind of demon jaws on the base. It's like somebody's tongue or tentacle there. That's pretty cool. That's the bottom of it. And this is the back, big skull. So it should just, yep. So there is Mephisto's throne. So Mephisto comes with 2 heads, a skull for him to hold, or there's no jawbone, so just the top part of a skull, 2 hands, and a very big sword. Also comes with rubbery plastic cape, and yes, that's not sure what this is. Okay, so there's a soft goods, cloth cape, and the rubber one. So I guess that's what you have to put on him for him to sit. And The soft goods loincloth, I guess. Yeah, I guess in the picture he's got the soft one on. Here's the rubber one. So, well, let's just put the, I'm not going to take them apart yet. Let's get them pegged in here. Get a little posing going on here before we get them in his throne. So, right center. There we go. And yeah, this is a different setup than I usually film at, just because my usual one, I have that all set up with the Batman modifications I'm doing for my other videos. So I just wanted to get some kind of video out on this. So I set up in a different area. Let's see, articulation. Let's get the cape off again. He's got, obviously, the head is going to be a ball socket there. Shoulders go up a little bit. Well, they're pretty high. He's got the rotation at the bicep, double jointed. I know everybody calls them pinless, but there's pins in there, you just can't see them. So they're hidden pins in there, basically, because it has to be connected somehow. And he's got lots of wiggle top of his abdomen. He doesn't twist at the waist. Let's see. As far as kicking up, he can go that far. He's got a thigh swivel, double jointed, hidden pin knees. And, oh yeah, he's got a swivel above the boot. Nice. That's tight. Okay, probably have to, there we go. Goes back, goes up, rotates. There we go. Okay, so pretty well articulated. And let's get the, hang out there for a minute, dude. Let's see what else we have here. That's a big sword. All right. And let's get this skull out. Okay, so hold somebody's skull here. And I have to get a hand out to hold the hold the sword. Hands just pop out like typical Marvel Legends. They don't have any little thing you have to watch for falling off. Some of them have wrist cuffs on some of the gloves that'll fall off when you pull the hands out, but not in this case. So we've got the sword and get this cape on. Now I'm sure other people have gotten this over the past few days. They started shipping, I think, last week. And I just got the notice last Thursday or Friday that it was shipping. And then today I got a notice that it was scheduled to be delivered on Wednesday, but today's Sunday, and it actually showed up today. So after waiting a year for it, that's pretty good. Yeah, he looks pretty diabolical. Get a little close up on here. Drop the skull. Okay, so that's the one face, and then let's put the other head. Let's see if we can see what the differences are here. So anyway, I'm sure other people have gotten them. I haven't watched any other reviews because when I got the notice that it was coming out, it was going to be here on Wednesday, I started planning to do a whole long video with all some key moments in Marvel Comics, people that are associated with him, and then it showed up a little early, so I don't have everything put together yet, but I'm going to do my best to throw it in here. There's not really a huge difference in the two faces. One's more of a smile, one's more gritty. See, that kind of bothers me with when they give you extra heads, but there's not a big difference in the two expressions or two heads. Just like, yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, so that comes apart. Just like the Maximum Spider-Man. You got two heads with that, and there's hardly any difference. There's like a slight difference in the eyes or the expression. It's kind of a waste to me. All right, I guess this. Okay, looks like, yeah, you gotta dress your Mephisto. Actually, got to pull them apart. That's okay. That explains. That's why it won't twist at the waist, is because it just separates there to do the soft goods part. And let's pop his head off. Put this on. That's got a peg in the back, so it secures it right there. So he's got the soft goods cape down here, and then it's got the plastic rubbery collar to stand up. That's not bad. Put his head back on, and let's put him in his throne. Now this, like I was saying before, this isn't the first Mephisto I have. The other one I just can't find it at the moment. It's packed away, buried. That also came with a throne, and it was actually, it was a taller throne than this. It had a higher back, definitely darker. I don't know, it didn't have as much detail on the base, but I almost want to say that that throne just looked more intimidating than this one. But what are you going to do? Yeah, that looks pretty good. So not a bad figure. I like it for what it is. It's Marvel Legends Mephisto. And like I was saying, this was supposed to be out, I think it was back in, I want to say around 2022, that they had a HasLab for, I think it's called Engine of Vengeance, and it was for the Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes. I guess he's still the current one. I'm not really up on it. The Ghost Rider that, instead of having a Hellfire powered motorcycle, had a Dodge Charger. So it was the car and Robbie, and I think if you hit the first tier, first first additional tier was a Madeline Pryor figure, which we ended up getting Madeline Pryor, but she was in X-Men 97 and did not look like the one that was shown. And I will put pictures in the video around here if I remember later of what could have gotten. And of course, you got Robbie Reyes with it. And then the next one, I think, was Daimon Hellstrom. And we did get Daimon Hellstrom as part of the Strange Tales series. I think, from what I remember, he looked pretty much the same as what was shown in the pictures for the Engine of Vengeance. But I'm going to put some pictures in here of that too, because I have that Daimon Hellstrom, but I modified him because the one that they released was not accurate to it. My memory is of Daimon Hellstrom from the comics. Most of what I have in my mind, my pictures of the definitive version of a character, is typically from 70s, 80s, 90s comics and stuff that I remember reading growing up with. So the Daimon Hellstrom we got did not have a cape, did not have, he was barefoot. Didn't quite look like him, so I changed mine. And I know there's a lot of people that have done this. I put, first of all, I got the boots from another figure, Black Tom Cassidy, which I have here. There's another one of my spares. You can see he has the pointed boots that are on there, which is accurate to what I remember from the comics, and I'll put pictures in there too. So I had to put the boots on here. You know, they popped right in. I had to paint them. I painted the pants more red, like I remember. I was going to go over the belt and gauntlets, just didn't get back to it. I also am making a soft goods cape because he has to have a cape. Visser's got a cape. Damon's got to have a cape. I'm going to I'm going to do a video on that and have a link to it in this one if I can get them both done around the same time. I'm going to film that too. So anyway, that's Daimon Hellstrom, who fights Mephisto. Now, as part of that wave, it was called the Strange Tales wave. The Build-A-Figure that you got if you did the whole wave was Blackheart, who is basically they call him the son of Mephisto, the spawn of Mephisto. Um, but yeah, so that's what you got if you did the whole figure. He was also in the Marvel versus Capcom games, and it seems like uh, Hasbro is leaning hard into Marvel versus Capcom, the video things, the Gamerverse stuff. So before, this wasn't even listed as, you know, Gamerverse, Marvel versus Capcom. It was just a Build-A-Figure. We got a cable that matches that. That wasn't listed as Gamerverse, but yeah, I'm rambling. So anyway, also with Mephisto, another one of his enemies is or are the Ghost Riders. So this is Dan Ketch, Ghost Rider, who not really a second because there were a Western Ghost Rider who was actually called Phantom Rider, or called Phantom Rider now. When he was originally introduced, he was called Knight Rider and also Ghost Rider. I guess they dropped the name Knight Rider in the 80s for obvious reasons and changed it to Phantom Rider. So he's, they call him the second one because the first one everybody remembers is Johnny Blaze. So this was from the early 70s. I have that. I'll do an unboxing on that at some point. This is another one that's just been sitting in a pile waiting for me. So yeah, we got Ghost Riders that are tied to Mephisto, Daimon Hellstrom, and Blackheart. Like I said, the Madeline Pryor figure does not, it's X-Men 97. It does not look like what was shown in the HasLab. And when I put the picture in there, you'll see for obvious reasons why. Hasbro is not going to release Mephisto general release. I don't think Walmart or Target wants to have Mephisto on their shelves and have mothers complaining they don't want the Madeline Pryor that they showed us on HasLab. They don't want that sitting on the shelves, even though there's some other things on the shelves that people can complain about. And with the Engine of Vengeance, like I said, that did not get funded, so we didn't get that. But there's a company called Ramen Toys, and they actually have a ramen racer. I think I'll put links and pictures in the video. I'll also have it all down in the description too, if you want to look at them. The ramen racer, they had I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was basically, they did a version of that, which was a Charger, like a Ghost Rider car. It had the Hellfire. It had a lot of similar things to what the HasLab was supposed to have. They were selling that for a couple of years, I believe. It's out of stock now. Last time I looked, I don't know if they're still making them or not. But there was a way to get a Hell Charger, basically, even though it wasn't a Hasbro Hell Charger. And we are getting the Robbie Reyes figure coming soon, sometime this year, I believe. It was just announced in the next wave or two of figures. There is a Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider figure. It's just the figure itself, not the car, obviously, because the car would be way bigger than this, or it should be anyway. So we're kind of getting almost everything that could have been in the HasLab one way or another. We're getting versions of the figures from Hasbro. There's an alternative from another company for the car. So if you really want to, have all that, there's ways to get it. But this figure, like I said, it's a nice figure. It's looks good. It's got good posability. I don't like that there's not a big difference in the head sculpts. Um, the base could have had some more better weathering to it, which I'll end up dry brushing some on there myself. And the figure too, I don't know, it's too clean. So I'll have to do something with that to make it look better in the display. And I just saw something. Does this looks like on the box they're showing the sword and the skull. I wonder, does that actually go in there? Is there? There's a hole there, but you gotta. Huh, yeah. Oh, there we go. That's all right. That's not bad. Okay, I like that a little better. I didn't catch that. Again, like I said, Hasbro does not give you any kind of instructions with the figures. They just, tell you don't put it in your mouth and leave the rest of it up to you to figure out how things go together and how they meant for the bases to look when it's all put together. So there is Mephisto with Daimon Hellstrom. Like I said, I'm going to make a cape for this. It's going to be cloth and it'll be wired. So I'll add that into this video or have a link to it from this video. And we'll do some more displays during the week with different characters, because of course the main one that I remember Mephisto from was Spider-Man, the One More Day. Ugh, One More Day. Horrible time in comics. That is the story arc, the change in Marvel Comics that I said, okay, I'm out. That's when I stopped collecting comics right there. It was uh, Peter Parker and Mary Jane had been married in the comics since the 80s. I enjoyed the stories of, Spider-Man grown up, he's an adult, he's married and still being a superhero. I enjoyed all those stories. But then Marvel decided, first they did Civil War with the, similar, not really, well, it's kind of like the MCU, where it was basically Iron Man versus Captain America, two differences in opinion. Tony Stark was all for this Superhero Registration Act, where superheroes should register with the government and tell everyone, expose their identities, be public figures. So he convinced Spider-Man, Peter Parker, to do that. Uh, the whole world knew who Peter Parker was, and he ended up living with Mary Jane and Aunt May in either Avengers Tower or Stark Tower. I forget which one. It's been so long now. And again, I think this was back around 2007 too. So anyway, something happened with Aunt May. I forget if I think she got injured somehow from a supervillain, and it related to Peter revealing his identity, from what I remember. So she was dying. So Peter made a deal with Mephisto, because that's what Mephisto is all about: corrupting heroes, making deals with them to give them what they want, and then he gets something. So the deal was Aunt May would live, but Peter and Mary Jane, their marriage would be wiped from existence. They Nobody would have any memory of it, which sounds like a Doctor Strange spell, right, from the movies, where Peter Parker's identity was exposed, and then he had to get some kind of spell for everyone to forget him, and everybody forgot about Peter Parker. So this is where it came from in the comics. It was the marriage was wiped from existence, for Aunt May to live. So it was basically, in my mind, the writers just didn't want to write Peter Parker being married, so let's just wipe it out. So that's what they did, and that was called One More Day. Now, the next storyline after that was called Brand New Day, which is the new Spider-Man movie coming out too. Is Brand New Day. So Marvel, the cinematic universe takes some ideas, a lot of basic ideas from the comics. They don't transfer them word for word. They, mix and match different parts of different storylines. So Mephisto in that line also. Mephisto was just recently introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Ironheart. If anybody watched that, I still haven't finished it. I get like 2 episodes in and lose interest. But I do know that in that, Mephisto shows up. Oh, spoiler. Sorry, should have. Well, it's been out for over a year. Anyway, so spoiler in Ironheart, Mephisto shows up at the end, and he's played by was it Sasha? Uh, trying to look up the actor's name here. Yeah, Sasha Baron Cohen. Yeah, so he is Mephisto from Marvel now. So it's interesting that they introduced him now in that show when you had a One More Day or a Brand New Day coming out, but also with Doomsday coming out and Secret Wars, Doctor Doom is coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Doctor Doom is another one that has issues with Mephisto. They have ongoing wars, different storylines, but basically the reason for that is that Mephisto has, I don't know if he still does. There was a story where Doctor Strange helped Doctor Doom to try and free his mother's soul. So Doctor Doom's mother's soul was held by Mephisto, and Doctor Doom, part of his whole motive and backstory is he wants the power to free her soul from Mephisto. So one of his storylines. Anyway, there's more to come. I'll put more in there about links to Mephisto's story and how many heroes and villains he has messed with in the Marvel Universe. I will do a video with a soft goods cloth cape for Daimon. That's actually very cheap and easy to make. And we'll do an unboxing on Johnny Blaze with his original red motorcycle. And that's about it for this one. But please, if you like this content and you think it's improving, please subscribe, give me a like, put comments down below, share it on social media, help me get some subscribers, and I would appreciate it. But I will be back. Legends Man out.